We have some film clips that you had of Cooper out at camp that show a couple of those things. Let's take a look at this. This is kind of a change of pace. What does this do? And coaching points here to young wide receivers or fans that want to know, why is this important?
Well, the first thing he does is he has a really good release, and he does a really good job of, like I said, attacking the opposite hip. So he'll do a little shuffle release and kind of jab the opposite way if he's going. So here he's going to work a release. He's going to work inside, jab with that right foot, and then release outside. And then he does one of his many moves is he does a little change of pace here. So he's going to almost be slow, then really, really fast, and then slow in terms of trying to create that separation. So when he bursts, Newsome is forced to burst with him, and then he's able to put his foot in the ground and run that comeback.
And again, change of pace, probably more important than flatline speed as far as creating some separation. And I'm not minimizing flatline speed, but change of pace is a weapon for a wide receiver, correct?
Absolutely. The ability to especially when the quarterback and receiver get on the same page, you have to use different things to get open. And that change of pace is one of those tools they have. And he does a really good job, especially on those vertical routes and those comebacks and those curls, of selling that vertical. And sometimes when you sell vertical and you just sprint, those DBs can run with you. But when you change that pace, it causes that DB to have a little indecision. So, yeah, it's a great tool to have.
All right, working against man-to-man coverage here, a pretty good cover guy that we have seen, Greedy Williams. Here again is Amari Cooper against man-to-man coverage. What do you see there? What enables him to create some separation?
Well, the first thing you see again is that shuffle jab release. So he's going to shuffle jab release to the outside to get to the inside. So he's going to shuffle jab. He's going to stick that left foot in the ground. And then what he does a really good job of, instead of just going inside, he's going to push vertical with both his feet and his head. So after he gets right after the line of scrimmage right there, he gets vertical, and then he's going to be able to create that separation because Greedy's not sure if he's going vertical or if he's going inside there. So he does a really nice job with the release and then pushing back to vertical with both his feet and his eyes.
And when we mention crafty, those are kind of the things that add up to a wide receiver being crafty. Here's another route that you have. This one is a dig route. So here is Cooper again working on the dig route. What do you see there?
Well, again, as it gets redundant for that release, he's really, really hard to get your DBs have a tough time getting their hands on him at the line of scrimmage because his speed, because his ability to work his hands. But right here, what he does really well, at the end of the route, you can see, so he's going to run a dig route, but he kind of gives a little rocker step, a little head and shoulders right at the top. So he's going to drive vertical, he's going to come inside, and then he's going to give a little head and shoulders rocker fake and put that right foot in the ground. And when he does that right at the top of the route, he creates great separation.
Yeah, and that right there is critical. We haven't seen a Browns wide receiver create that kind of separation in a little while. All right, let's take a look. Cooper versatile too as well. He can play inside and outside. Why is this important? What do you see here?
Well, for what the Browns are doing, obviously with Brissett playing early and definitely for however long that may be, one of Jacoby's strengths is the ability to throw short and be on time and understand defenses. So what Amari can do is he can work in the slot and he can work outside. And that when he works in the slot like he is here, he's able to run those crossing routes, those quick out routes, those hitches, those slants, things like that, things that are easy throws, easy catches. But it also allows him to touch the ball if he's not getting that vertical pass game.
Also, kind of, does it put the pressure on the defense to tackle because you're getting a guy that's pretty big out in space? Is that the goal of some of the short passing game, you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Gets the ball, gets the play. It's always playmakers over plays. So anytime you can get those guys to touch the ball in space, those guys who are elite in terms of catching and running with it. The quicker you can get them the ball, and the better position they catch the ball, and the more they can do with it. So yeah, I think his ability to play, multiple positions is going to allow, the offensive staff for the Browns to kind of put him where they need to put him to be able to have him get his touches.
And again, we got one more for you. Amari Cooper with a crossing route this time. And again, you had alluded to it. What do you see here?
Well, one thing he does is that this is probably a high-low read. I don't have the entire thing, but it looks like they're running kind of a high-low here with Njoku. So the quarterback's going to read high to low, and in this route, he becomes very quarterback friendly. And I had some people ask me what that means. That he just always seems to be where he's supposed to be. So as the quarterback's going through his progression here, he knows that Cooper is going to be where he should be on this crossing route. And with that big body and that big catch radius, he's very easy to hit, especially on these short crossing routes. So that crossing route and all those slot concepts give him the ability to get open and be very quarterback friendly.
And you mentioned, throwing, the shorter passing game with Brissett. That's likely to be something that the Browns kind of lean on in the early going, at least to get things rolling with, assuming that Watson is suspended at least 6 games, correct?
Yeah, I think when you watch Brissett's film, especially from his Miami days, he's very accurate inside 10 yards. Now, you lose a little bit of accuracy outside of 10 yards, but he also hasn't had the receiver of Amari Cooper's talent, in my opinion. He's with the run game, so the controlled passing game out of 3 and 4 receiver sets, even 5 receiver sets, yeah, he's very good. But when you have Amari Cooper, you could actually run some play action and take some shot plays with Cooper, take some 1-man or 2-man routes and just take a shot with Cooper off that run game.